It's showtime.
Hey, welcome to Did You Watch Survivor Last Night? This is the only fun Survivor podcast. My name is Jake Scheidel. Each week I ask my best friend Thomas Powell if he did indeed watch a certain reality show. Hey, Thomas, how's it going today?
Jake, I'm doing so good. Just doing great.
Tell me, what's going
February,
on?
but it's nice out.
Yes.
Who would have guessed that would ever happen?
I initially thought this was a Chicago-only thing, but I've since learned it's a everywhere thing that has seasons.
Just Chicago things.
Just Chicago things. You can follow it on Instagram. Do you have a phenomenon known as false spring?
Is that where you get spring too early?
Yeah, for like a few days, maybe a couple weeks, and then it just goes back to winter. And it's awful.
Yeah.
For a few weeks again.
That's a common thing in the Midwest, I would say.
Yeah, that's what we're experiencing here too. And
It's been a really long false spring, though, is the thing. Like, it's been mostly false spring.
Interesting. That's exciting. We had a pretty bad snowstorm on Friday, and now it's Sunday, and it's nice again. Walked an entire mile to brunch this morning and realized that was a mistake. Should have taken the bus because we got very hungry.
It's good. It's good to get exercise.
It's good to get exercise, but I was hungry,
Well, then it'll taste even better when you do eat it, I bet it tastes really good.
It was very good. I got a ruby scramble, they called it. Had eggs and potatoes and some sort of curry sauce.
Do we want to have a new segment where we talk about what we had for breakfast?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Give me a song to intro the breakfast segment. Oh, this is obvious.
I've got one perfect for it, and it's called Making Breakfast by Twin Peaks.
What'd you have for breakfast?
Jake, I made some sausage patties. I did 2 basted eggs, and I had a little pumpernickel bagel with it, along with some coffee, and it was fantastic.
That's delicious. I also had something called a pink spritz, and pink was spelled like the Janelle Monáe song. And It was very tasty. It had some orange something in it, some sort of seltzer, and gin. And it's very tasty. Then I had another drink.
I love a spritz. Spritz, the last time that I went out to get brunch, I did an Aperol spritz, and sometimes I'll do like an elderflower liqueur spritz. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Nice, tasty, light breakfast brunch cocktail. And then I also had a whiskey cider drink that has also a spritzy.
Oh my God. It's a synthesis of the first 2 things in tub thumping.
Exactly. What did you have for drinks?
I had coffee, and I guess right now I'm drinking a Snapple Zero Peach Tea.
I'm drinking an Uptime Blood Orange.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, thank you. It's kind of like getting a B-. It
could be better.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like, look, I'm not mad, fine.
It's still good.
Yeah. But still it could be better. Anyway, we're here to talk about the upcoming season of Survivor. Thomas, did you want to talk about the cast of Survivor 46?
Sauce on spill, I don't do bummy. I serve so much shots in town, the neighbors think that I'm Andy Murray. Like all this food in my tummy.
If we have to, I suppose we'll talk about the cast.
Okay. Survivor 46 will premiere on February 28th, 2024. How old will you be on February 28th, 2024?
I will be 32 years old.
I will also be 32 at this point, but only for a few weeks longer.
I'm actually in college. I'm actually like 21 because I had someone ask me if I was a college student yesterday, and I'm riding that high for the rest of the week, baby.
That's great. I love forgetting how old we are at this age. It's the best part.
I'm 25.
I'm 25 and have been for 8 years. Everybody knows this.
I love, my 7th consecutive year of being 25. It feels good. I can't wait for my 8th year of being 25.
Yeah. It's just such a good age. Why would I ever want to be older?
Yeah, I was just fond of it, you know? Why do a different one when that one was so good?
It feels like you are putting off talking about Survivor 46. You want to talk about things that happened 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 8 years ago. How old?
Yeah,
how old
I would love to
how many
talk about
years
a
ago was
season.
25?
What season of Survivor was 8 or 9 years ago? How about that?
I think that's when we about started the show. So that would have been Survivor
Yeah.
Cambodia, Second Chances.
Good stuff. You know who's on that season?
Who's that?
Spencer was on that season, and his story.
Who's that, Thomas?
Spencer, you don't know, you don't care about Spencer's story. It's so resonant for some of the new cast members.
Yeah. And we all love Spencer, and continue to love Spencer. And
Dude, I could not fucking believe. I did like a double take. I was like, who now? Whose story is your story now?
Yeah. Okay. So there was a couple of people who referenced Spencer, which is weird to me. Not the person I would pick. Who would be the person you would pick in all of Survivor to be like, I'm going to play like this person? I was really inspired by. You're going to say Jeremy, aren't you?
No, because I couldn't play like Jeremy. Probably David. From Millennials versus Gen X.
Sure.
David Wright.
Yeah. That's fine. I would say I'm going to play like Al. I was.
Like,
Who am I like on Survivor?
I think Al from Home Improvement.
I'm going to play like Elf from the 80s.
Yeah. Gordon Shumway.
Yes, I'm going to play like Gordon Shumway. Okay, let's no longer talk about old TV and talk about future TV, which is Survivor 46. We start off with the Siga tribe. It's a Fijian word meaning day. They're the Green tribe. What do you think of this tribe name?
It's fine.
Agreed.
I will forget it. I don't think there's is there a joke that we want to do off of it that we call it? Because I feel like the only time that I ever remember tribe names is when we have like something that kind of sounds like it that we say as a joke.
Seagulls on the beach. I don't know.
We call them the Seagull tribe.
We could call them the Seagull tribe. I don't see why not. The Seagull tribe is Charlie Davis, who is 26 years old. He's a law student from Boston. Says he's going to be living through different Taylor Swift eras throughout the game.
I very loudly yelled, "Shut the fuck up," at my TV when he opened with that. Whatever. There's nothing wrong with liking Taylor Swift, but why? Why are you opening with that? Can people just want to play Survivor? Like, what the fuck?
He also was a Rudy type character on his school's cross country team. Was this cool? Did you like this?
And where was it? Where did he run cross country?
You know, I could have written that down, but I didn't. So I'm gonna have to say, like Rudy, Notre Dame.
No, afraid not. Actually, not a big deal, but it's a little school called Harvard. Maybe you've heard of it.
Harvard University? The University of Harvard in Boston, Mass?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Is it University of Harvard? I thought it was Harvard College, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know or care.
You don't care.
That is not interesting to me at all. I'm so proud of Charlie for being a Rudy type character.
He's about to finish up law school, but you should probably hide that because people will think he's so smart, especially because he went to Harvard College University. And let me tell you, we'll see again. I was saying to you before we started recording, I think that I think the producers deliberately engineer these to be as annoying as possible. So I'm trying very hard not to let them color my perspective of the actual players because often they don't line up, but I'm not optimistic about liking this guy.
I I concur. Couldn't remember the word concur for a second. Up next, we have Ben Katzman. He's 31. He's a musician from Miami. Ever heard of it? He had a speech impediment growing up, but has since found music. Pretty inspiring stuff, huh?
Aren't you so excited that they got another Sifu for this season? They got another person to fucking play air guitar all the time.
Is it just one? It feels like there's going to be multiple Sifus.
Well, but like this
season.
is like a 1-to-1 like recreation where it's just like he's gonna play. What was Sifu playing air guitar on all the time?
He
would pick something
machete,
up.
Right?
Yeah, on the machete. I bet he plays air guitar on the machete at some point. Ben does.
It was so cool when Sifu did it. So
yeah, we loved it.
We should see
We're back
more
on the
of it,
Sifu
absolutely.
diet, baby. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Ben Katzman. I don't want to say I'm excited for him. I will say, though, I was recently reminded by my mom that I had a speech impediment growing up called thrust tongue or something like that caused me to have a slight lisp. And so I'm very inspired by Ben Katzman.
Yeah, you overcame the speech impediment that I don't think I ever particularly noticed. So you know what? You go on Survivor, you got that for your video package, and also diabetes.
Gonna make everybody cry. Yes, that's right. Ben found music, and I found podcasting. It's funny. Did you hear what I did? Did you hear the funny joke I did?
Yes.
I don't believe you, but we're going to move on. Mariah Gaynor's up next. Is 28 years old. She is a program coordinator from Boca Raton, Florida, the funniest named town in all of the country. Now lives in San Diego, California. She says she felt like an outcast for being nerdy and looked up to Cochran and Aubrey on the show. She seems fine.
Yeah, she does seem fine. I do think it's really funny every time that they're like, I watched Cochran play Survivor, and it taught me that it was okay to be weird or whatever. It's like, I don't watch Survivor this way. Who watches Survivor? I mean, I guess everybody that plays Survivor now watches it like this, but like, why? I don't get it, man. Whatever. That's moving on.
Yeah. Okay. No, agreed. I have nothing against Mariah.
She seems fine.
Yeah, she seems fine, yeah. Up next, we've got Tim Spicer. He's 31. He's a college coach from Arlington, Virginia, now in Atlanta, Georgia. Met his wife in some class, and they were passing notes to one another. Isn't that cute?
Yeah, and then they showed a bunch of, like, epic pictures of them. Also, he's the head of a nonprofit or something. I don't know.
That's great. What kind of college coach is he in? Track and field? Is that what they said?
I want to say it was swimming.
They wrote.
Wasn't he the one that was like, "Have you ever seen a black fish or something?" Before that, and I was like, "I don't know what the fuck this is supposed to mean."
Yeah, I've seen the movie Blackfish. It was sad as fuck, and now SeaWorld's dying, and it's good. What's your point, bro? I don't know. I don't remember what he coached. I just saw that they wrote college coach on his little.
I think maybe it's he coaches people to go to college. Maybe that's what it is.
Okay, that seems real.
There were some interesting coaches. I'm going to say there's another interesting coach that we get later on.
Well, it's funny you say we have interesting coaches, because up next is Maria Schreim Gonzalez. She's 48, and she is a parent coach.
Yeah, I believe I said out loud when I saw that, what the fuck is a parent coach?
What does that mean? Look, I'm not a parent. I don't have any children. I don't play any sports.
I'm sure that it's just like a parental advice kind of thing, but people can't. It's like the life coach industry has branched out, and this is a new thing that people do. I don't know.
I guess, good for them. She's from Dallas, Texas. Delivered all 3 of her kids with no meds at home. Great. She's
also,
a mom.
she breastfed one of her children after a marathon. I was like, all right, cool.
Will you say that again?
She said that she was. She said right after she finished the marathon this year, she's like, and I nursed one of my kids right afterwards. And I was like,
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, that was very cool of her. She's a mom who's doing this for her. Great. How many times have we heard this?
I'm sorry that you hate
somebody
moms
who's
doing it for themselves.
Yeah. I don't know. I think she's fine.
Yeah,
I think she'll do all right.
Yeah, she's been through a lot. I think that will probably help her in this game.
Oh, buddy, yes. And then we've got Jem Hussein Adams. She is 32. Guess who else is 32?
Us.
Me and you. International brand mentor, originally from Guyana, now lives in Chicago, Illinois. Guess who else lives in Chicago, Illinois?
Isn't it nice to feel seen
It really
and
is.
see 32-year-olds like you on television?
Yes. Finally, somebody in their early 30s from a big city is in Survivor. She applied with her husband years ago, but they were only interested in her. Very funny. And she says
Take
she
that,
likes
husband.
to manage
you didn't
people.
have what it took.
Yeah. I can't wait for him to come out during the loved ones visit and Jeff to be like, oh, this fucking guy again. I thought we were done with him. Okay, so that's the whole Seagull tribe. You, of course, won Survivor 45, so you get first choice if you so choose it. Who do you like? Who do you want to pick for the pre-match?
Who are my guys?
We've got Ben, we've got Charlie, we've got Mariah, Tim, Maria, and Jem.
I'm going to take Maria.
Okay, I think that's a good choice. I'm going to pick my neighbor in age and location, Jem. Okay.
Hopefully she can mentor you in international brands.
Like Nike and the NBA, WWE,
Fannie Mae.
Australia. Who may win Survivor 46?
Jen May.
No, you got Jem May. There we go. Okay, up next we've got Yanu. It's the Fijian word meaning island. Lazy, I think,
The
is the
Giannis
word I want
tribe.
to use. It's like when we use island in the sun on this show, because Survivor takes place on an island. It's like, we can do a little better than that, folks. They're the purple tribe. I feel nothing for this tribe so far.
It's fine, yeah. It's the Giannis tribe. Like Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, like Giannis Antetokounmpo. We've got Kenzie Petty up first. Feels like your favorite type of person. She's 29.
Wow, how did you know? What about her did you think I liked the most?
She calls herself like the weird hot child of Parvati and Marianne. Weird comparison to make. Weird
She's so
description
crazy,
for
love
yourself.
her.
Yeah. She's a salon owner from Gibraltar, Michigan. Thomas.
Ooh, Michigan. From the
not too far
Straits of
from
Gibraltar,
where you
Michigan.
are. Exactly. Now lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, though. Sorry, bud. I don't know what that means. Knows she can come across as a bimbo. I did like that. I thought that was very funny. But also took on a leadership role in childhood because her mother struggled with mental health. Your favorite, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, she'll probably do pretty well because this type of player always does. And I'm stuck with them.
So we are rooting for our Michigan homegirl, Kenzie Petty. Funny name, too. You like, really? Your last name is Petty? Funny stuff. Up next, we've got Tiffany Nicole Irvin. She's 33 years old. Basically the same age we are. So that's pretty exciting. She's an artist from New Jersey. She doesn't like to lose. She seems fine. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on Tiffany Nicole
I thought
Irvin?
so too, yeah. I don't know. I think everybody is once again everyone is doing too much in these, but yeah, she seems fine.
Yeah. Okay. Up next, we have Jess Chong, 37, software engineer, lives in San Francisco, but her hometown is listed as Hong Kong and Toronto. She expects people to think that she's cuckoo bananas and says she was inspired by Gabby for being an Asian woman who could cry on TV. I like her fine.
I love it. It's like, I was inspired that I saw someone cry on Survivor.
Jeff Probst was like, oh, yes. Finally,
Love
more
this.
crying on this show.
Can we clone her?
Mm-hmm. We need Jess and Gabby on every season. I think Jess will do okay.
Yeah, I think she'll do fine. I got no problem with Jess. She seems fine.
Okay, up next is Q Burdett. He's 29, which again is basically the same age we are.
Yep, I just looked him up because he said that he played football at the University of Mississippi, and his name is Quintavious Burdett. He was a defensive back for his first 2 years, and then he was a wide receiver and did not play at all. So good for him.
Cool. 29 years old. He's a real estate agent now. He's originally from Mississippi, now lives in Memphis, Tennessee. He is one of 17 kids.
I don't know how. How do you do that? How do you have 17
Thomas,
children?
I'm so glad you asked. See, when a man loves a woman very much, and I mean very much, they have dozens of children together.
When a man loves a woman at a minimum of 17 times.
He played football and track at whatever school Thomas just said, and was apparently...
It was the University of Mississippi. Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, great. He was the second best real estate agent in the country, whatever that means. What does that mean?
I guess maybe maybe it's like a realtors association thing. Like there's some sort of like national association of realtors, and they give out like awards or something. I don't know. There's some body that awards excellence in realty. Definitely.
Okay, that's fine. Good for them. You know, I don't know what else to say. Banu Gopal is 41 years old. He's an IT quality analyst, originally from India, now lives in Massachusetts. His husband is a huge Survivor fan, and that got him into the show. And he is one of the people who says he loves Spencer.
He says Spencer's story is my story. He did not elaborate on it at all. I was like, I really need to know why that's the case. Didn't get anything.
Banu is the Cody Rhodes of Survivor, and that he is here to finish the story that Spencer
finishing
started.
Spencer's story.
Yeah. Do you like Banu at all?
He's a lot. I think that he's probably going to do very well.
Yeah, I feel like he could go either way. Either he's out very early or he's like final six.
Him and Q, I feel that way about. I think that they are either going to be out immediately or they're going to be go very deep into the game.
Well, we've made it to the final person of the Giannis Antetokounmpo tribe, David Jelinski. You love this when somebody just uses their last name.
What the fuck was up with this guy's voice?
I saw somebody compared him to Will Wall from Millennials versus Gen X and having an unreasonably low voice.
This is Will Wall II. That's Will Wall, brother.
World Wall II. World Wall 22 because he's 22 years old. He's a slot machine salesman, lives in Lost Wages, Nevada.
Compares a Survivor slot machine. Did he have a Survivor China banner that was behind that?
I think he did, yeah, because I made note of that too. I was like, oh, we just watched that season. Perfect.
Yeah. So you know what? I gotta give it to him on that one.
Yeah, good season. He compares himself to Tyson, who will be on an upcoming off season we do. I'd have to
It's a
check
good
the
person
schedule
to
again.
want to be like. I will say, degree of difficulty to be like Tyson, very, very hard.
Yeah, everybody wants to be like Tyson, but only one person is Tyson. His upbringing was like The Hangover.
Yeah, I was like, okay. All right.
Zach Galifianakis was my dad. Zach Galifianakis. What's his name? He had to parent himself because both of his parents were addicts. I don't think that's what that movie was about, Jelinski, but sure.
I think the baby that they were carrying had to parent itself. Maybe that's why he said.
Oh, and he was the baby in The Hangover? I guess that makes sense. He's 22 years old, and that movie came out about 20 years ago. That tracks. You like Jelinski? David Jelinski? He's kind of the Mike Gabler of the new era.
He's a bit much. We'll see how he does.
All right, so who's your Giannis? Who are you picking from this tribe? We've got Kenzie, Tiffany, Jess, Q, Banu, and Jelinski.
I am picking Jess.
I think that's a solid choice. I can't decide between Q and Banu. I think I'm gonna go with Banu though.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a solid choice. High risk, high reward.
Sure. Finally, we've got the Nami tribe. They are the Orange tribe. Do you know what Nami means?
I know that it's a character on the show on One Piece. So, is it like One Piece?
One Piece is an anime. Yes.
Yes. Yep.
From where? Whence has that come? Ooh.
It's from Japan.
Oh, interesting, because Nami is a Japanese word meaning wave. We're in Fiji.
I mean, One Piece is about pirates, so that makes sense, because water.
But, like, if you're going to be using Japanese words, do Survivor Japan finally. Everybody's been asking for it.
It's true, they have been asking for it.
Have you guys been in Fiji for so long that you ran out of Fijian words?
Apparently.
All right, we've got Liz Wilcox up first, another person I'm sure you loved. She's 35, a marketing strategist, from Luther, Michigan. Another person from Michigan, Thomas.
She lives in Orlando, Florida now, though.
She lives in Orlando, Florida.
She abandoned us.
Yeah. Who would do such a thing? She said she was really bullied as a kid and forced her to be mute. Her mom told her that the more she tries to fit in, the more sick she gets. That's a weird thing to say to your child, right?
Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing to say.
It's okay, though. She's cool. She started 3 brands and has a 7-year-old daughter who inspired her to apply to the show. Do you like Liz Wilcox?
I think, you know what I think inspired Liz to apply to the show? Her fucking brand. Can we get some people that are not obviously just trying to build their fucking brand on this show? I'm very sick of that happening.
No, you will purchase their items on Etsy. What's his name? The boy who stole all the puzzles and got really good at all the puzzles is now selling puzzles on Etsy. Remember? Carson's dad. Carson. Carson. Hunter McKnight is a science teacher. He's 28. He's from French Camp, Mississippi. He wants to hide the fact that he's a mental person.
He also said he doesn't want to get roasted by his students if he gets voted out very early.
Oh, good call. I think he's fine. I have nothing against him.
Yeah, I like him. I think he seems like a chill dude.
Up next is Randon Montalvo. Montalvo?
Yeah, Randon
Montalvo. 41, an aerospace tech from Orlando, Florida, now in Brooklyn, New York. His daughter assumes he'll be the first one out. He has had a hard childhood, but his kids have no idea.
Is this Brunkle Bruce? Is this the new Brunkle Bruce?
Oh, I was trying to figure out if I liked Randon or not, but now that you say that, I can't help but see that.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems fine. I'm not necessarily saying he will be, but you never know.
You never know. I don't know. I have high hopes for him. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was the next Bronco Bruce. He could very easily fill that role. Up next, we've got Tevin Davis, who I thought, based on the previews, I was not going to like. But from this bio video, he seems all right. He's 24.
He's a bit much for me.
He is an actor.
At one point, he said, "Were you so happy to get to know Tevin?" Because I know he was so happy to get to know Tevin.
I can't wait to get to know Tevin.
In his acting journey.
Town in Virginia. Do you remember the town name, Thomas, that Tevin's from?
I don't.
It's called Goochland.
Goochland.
That's what I said. He says he faced adversity as a child, but then found acting. So did I, but I found podcasting. Okay.
You guys are basically the same person.
We're basically the same person.
I did think it was funny when he was like, I saw High School Musical and was like, that is not what I want to do. But then I went and did acting.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how he is like as, like a day-to-day player, basically.
I'm expecting him to get like mid-merge.
I could see that.
Like, everybody will love having him around. He'll be very similar, I think, to, was it Caleb last season? I don't remember when he got out, but, he was like the first one out at the merge, right?
He was the first member of the jury, I believe.
Okay. So maybe he'll be early merge boot, but whatever. But just like that big time charmer that everybody loves, that everybody's friends with, and then everybody realizes like, oh, he's going to win if he gets to the end.
Yeah, they're too much of a threat.
Up next, we've got Venus Vafa, who sounds like a Batman villain from Gotham City. What a name, Venus Vafa.
Venus Vafa.
Great. She is 24 years old as well. She's a data analyst from Toronto. She is hot, so she thinks people will assume that she's been handed things. Her parents immigrated to Canada from Iran. Sorry to say it, but, I'm a fan.
This is the D of this season. Why are you a fan? Explain to me why you're a fan. What do you like about her?
I like, the Canadians are always so nice on this show.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay.
Nothing else.
Name one other reason.
I'm very inspired by the immigrant story.
Yeah, what's another one?
We're very similar ages, so I find that inspiring. I'm also in my mid-20s.
Yeah, as a fellow younger member of Gen Z.
Yeah, I was born in the late 90s, early 2000s, just like Venus Vafa from Gotham. And last but certainly not least, we've got Soda Thompson, whose first name is Soda.
Soda!
I know we're not supposed to like question people's names, but everybody's name is their own. But why is her name Soda? Is that short for something?
Soda!
She is 27 years old, in her mid-20s, just like us. Special ed teacher from Long Island, now lives in New Jersey. Had dysfunctional parents and saw education as her way out. Calls herself resilient. I like soda. But speaking as a diabetic, I'd prefer diet soda.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like there were like one or two things that in the video that I can't remember what it was. Something bugged me, but I also love that we got to mention, you got to talk about your trauma. Talking trauma at Survivor, baby. The word trauma, you got to throw it out there.
Yeah, I liked her.
She seems fine.
Yeah, it feels like she might be the type to go out before the merge, I hate to say. Because that's
why is that, Jake? Is it because this continually happens to black women on the show? Probably for no reason.
Yeah. Wasn't there was it Mariah last season or 2 seasons ago? The black woman with the really colorful hair who was a teacher also. She was like the first or second person out. Yeah, I worry that Soda will fill that role as well, which is very upsetting.
R.I.P. Soda. I will say also, maybe she's going to be able to get past this, but I do think somebody with the first name Soda is going to be like, you look back and it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that person. They were the first person. I forgot that there was someone named Soda because they got eliminated immediately. But you know what?
I will never forget about Soda. What a great name.
No, I will never ever forget about Soda. I hope for Soda's sake that we're this season is a big gulp,
I think Soda is the best name that's ever been on the show, second behind only Venus Vafa.
Yeah, I think I am very... Oh, so that's another thing that you like about Venus Vafa is the name.
Yeah, it's a great name.
It is. I can't deny that. I want to be able to talk about Soda as much as possible. So, God, inshallah, she stays in the game for a while.
Let's do a segment for Soda called Soda segment, where we shout out our favorite sodas. Thomas, this is a new segment called Soda segment. Soda! What's your favorite soda of all time? We'll start broad so we can, get more niche as we go further. Favorite soda of all time. I'll tell you mine. Sprite.
Sprite, okay. Boring. Okay. I like probably a cherry cola. Typically is my favorite.
Classic, yeah. I can't be mad at that.
Honestly, big fan of cherry 7-Up. Cherry 7-Up is very good.
Yeah. I don't love cherry flavored stuff unless it's in a soda,
Yeah. I think it just works well for sodas.
Okay, so who are you picking from Nami? We could also call it the Mommy Tribe, like Rhea Ripley,
Yeah, we could do that. I'm going to pick Hunter.
Okay, yeah, that's a good call. He was my second choice after, of course, Venus Vafa.
It's Venus Vafa time, baby.
Okay.
Let's see if production's weird about her feet.
Oh, God, I hope not. I feel like there was some weird something in a preview for this season. Am I wrong about that? I vaguely remember something.
They got a new editor on there that loves feet.
His name is Quentin Tarantino. Why did he put Margot Robbie's feet so big and dirty up on the screen in that movie? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It's what he does. It's part of his process.
Unnecessary. Don't do it again. Okay, so we've been picking out all these people from TV that we're so excited to talk about. So, Thomas Powell, could you be so kind as to tell everybody the name of this week's quotes?
So nasty that it's probably somewhat of a travesty having me. Then he told the people you can call me your majesty.
We can reveal if you're more right-brained or left-brained based on your favorite TV show characters.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Right-brained or left-brained? Find out by answering a few questions about your favorite TV shows. Let's get started. Hey, look, it's a picture of Joey Tribbiani from Just Joey.
Hey, look, this is by Free Ha, community contributor, 210 points. We're about to give you some more points, Free Ha. Okay, Joey Tribbiani. Who would you be there for in Friends? This is a trick question, obviously all of them. Just Chandler, Just Joey, Must Monaco, or Rust Rachel?
Rust Rachel. Obviously Joey. What are we even talking about
Obviously
here?
Joey.
How you doing?
Pretty good now that I got Joey on my side. Obviously, what's next?
Who do you want on the throne in Game of Thrones? And it's 4 answers of people I wouldn't pick. Arya Stark, Jaime Lannister, Marjorie Tyrell, Bran Stark. I guess I'll take Marjorie Tyrell.
I tried watching that show multiple times, never got more than halfway through the first season. And Arya Stark was the only character I ever liked, so I'm picking her. Does she ever do anything bad? Oh my God, has Arya Stark been canceled?
Yes, she's been. I'm afraid she's been canceled.
Who's your favorite pal? Dustin, 11, Max, Lucas.
Oh man, I
HBO
watched the
Max?
first season of the show and none of the other like parts of it. I'll say Dustin. It's Dustin. We all love
Yeah,
Dustin, don't we?
We all love Dustin.
I watched this show like 10 years ago.
Fair, same. I'll pick Lucas. Yeah, I stopped. I think I watched like one episode that Max was in, and I said, "Oh, new characters? No, thank you." Okay, Thomas, which surgeon from Grey's Anatomy would you let operate on you? Christina Yang, Derek Shepard, aka Mick Dreamy, Miranda Bailey, or Meredith Grey, aka Grey's Anatomy?
Man, I don't think I've ever watched a single episode of this television show, so I'm just gonna go with Sandra Oh, because you know what, Sandra Oh, you can operate on me anytime.
Yeah. You'll say, Sandra Oh, it's Sandra Oh, when she walks in. I'm going to pick Miranda Bailey. She's the only one I haven't seen being dramatic in the previews. So I trust her more than fucking McDreamy, who's constantly doing sex in the closets, I assume. I, again, have never watched the show. Okay, pick a top-notch detective from Brooklyn Nine-Nine: Charles Boyle, Jake Peralta, Amy Santiago, Rosa Diaz.
Taking Rosa Diaz, baby.
I'm picking Jake Peralta for obvious reasons.
Yes, we love Jake Peralta.
What's next?
What about your favorite dead person in The Good Place? Eleanor Shellstrop, Tahani Al-Jamil, Jason Mendoza, or Chidi Anagonye? Obviously, Jason Mendoza. What are we even talking about here?
Yeah.
Go Jaguars.
I'm also picking Jason Mendoza. I did get some fresh jalapeno poppers at the grocery store recently, and I felt like my man, Jason Mendoza. That's a true thing from my real life. Favorite employee from Dunder Mifflin in The Office. I love that they specify in The Office. Michael Scott, Jim Halpert, Dwight Schrute, Pam Beasley.
I can't help but notice that Creed is not on here. Let's
Creed was
see.
the best character. Creed, Stanley, Phyllis. Those were all the best characters.
Yeah. No.
Favorite employee.
No Karen Filippelli.
No Kelly. No Ryan. I liked Ryan, who did cocaine all the time. That was a funny
That's
bit.
true.
I'm going to pick Pam, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Pam also.
Okay. And lastly, pick your favorite How I Met Your Mother friend. Ted, Lily, Barney, Robin. You remember all these guys, right?
Yes, of course, all of our favorites. Why is Jason Segel not on there, and why is Ted on there? Who on earth would pick Ted?
People who try desperately to be the main character. I'm going to pick Lily because she's the only one who ever left the group at any point during this show.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Robin. We love Robin Sparkles. I know what that is.
Oh, yeah, that was a funny bit that they did on that show. I'm right-brained. You've got a wild imagination. You're creative, intuitive, artistic, and visual. You might be a bit unorganized at times, but that's probably because your brain is in so many places at once.
I got the same thing, so.
Okay. Well, cool. Two right brains winning. I don't know.
Please, for us, isn't there's a brewery called Right Brain, isn't there?
Maybe you could tell me. Well, who were we saying?
It's in Traverse City, Michigan. So pour us 2 tall glasses of your finest Right Brain.
Great. Okay, do you want to talk traders?
Let's go to Trader Joe. All that bad shit you eating is gonna take a toll. They got some healthy food for you and it's for the low.
Yeah, what did you think of the traders this week?
Great as always. I liked when Kate said, "Would I be eating this salmon if I was a trader?" Funny line. I love Kate. She might be my favorite person this season. Actually.
I like Kate as a trader. Phaedra's acting is getting a little old for me. I think she's doing too much. This is an episode where we talk about people doing too much. I think Phaedra's doing too much.
Phaedra feels backed into a corner, and I feel very bad for her. So she's trying to do too much to get out of it. She's like, "Oh, I'm not showing enough emotion. Let me show you more emotion." Now that you're cornering me, yeah, I don't. If Phaedra's not voted out next episode, like, beginning of next episode, I think it'll be the week after that because
She's been kind of cornered at this point. I think she's played a good game.
I don't see how she gets out of this.
But yeah, I just don't know that it just kind of seems like her game has run its course at this point.
Yep. Dan's fucked up the entire game for Parvati and Phaedra, and he didn't even make it like halfway through the game. Okay, so they murder Kevin, who is the most charming he's been all season when he asks if he can keep the murder letter. That was very funny.
Yes, it was.
I never gave Kevin a second thought, but then when he was like, "Oh, can I keep this letter?" I was like, "Oh, wait, do I like this guy?"
No, I was glad to see him go, but I love to watch him leave. Let's see.
Go back to the Bling Empire. Is that the show he was on?
I think so.
How about this? Alan Cumming comes out wearing an all blue and green plaid outfit.
He comes out like the Undertaker. He's like flanked by druids or whatever those guys were. Yeah. And then he tells them to
leave.
Him
12 minutes of the episode to walk in front of them.
You know what? You know who I would never accuse of doing too much? Alan Cumming. He's always doing just enough. He could never do too much in my eyes.
They have to shoot stained glass with a crossbow for the mission. Did you see that interview with the producer of the Traitors? The Traitors, excuse me.
The Traitors? No, I did not.
They're very open to feedback, and they said, "Hey, we got to beef up these missions. We got to make them more important. So stick around for season 3." I said, "Oh, good," because that's like been our biggest complaint all season is these missions aren't important enough. But I liked this one. This one was fun.
Yeah, this one was fun.
It was like that one in China that we were just raving about with the crossbow.
Yes, I like when you shoot stuff in a challenge. That means it's a good challenge.
Yep. John wears a shirt with a very complicated pattern. I'm glad I felt the necessary.
He wanted that one so bad.
John continues to rule. I'm rooting for John at this point. I'm rooting for John and Sandra. Never
John and his wife Andra.
So it comes down 4 votes for Phaedra, 4 votes for Peter, and we get a cliffhanger waiting for the greatest MJ's vote.
Oh,
Is this the same guy from the NBA?
Yeah.
The 90s NBA?
Yeah, and she was like, I took that personally.
Yeah. Unnecessary cliffhanger.
Yeah, this sucked.
Like, we're not gonna,
everyone was mad about it, and I was also annoyed.
Like, we're not going to not watch the next season because Phaedra or Peter or next episode because Peter or Phaedra got voted out.
This is the challenge style bullshit, and I am not here for it.
The challenge at its worst. Okay, so that's the Traitors. Thomas, what's your Blue Sky?
You can follow me at tom.bsky.social.
You can follow the show at onlyfunsurvivorpod.bsky.social on Blue Sky or the Only Fun Survivor podcast on YouTube. What can people comment on YouTube if they need inspiration?
Ha ha ha, very funny, smiley face.
It's perfect. And our last poll, let's see, asked, who would you like to have seen win Survivor China? Who do you think won? We said Amanda, Jean Robert, Courtney, and Todd.
Would people pick Jean Robert?
Sorry?
People pick Jean Robert?
Jean Robert got 18% of the vote. Courtney got 36% of the vote. And Todd got 45% of the vote.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, nobody voted for Amanda. Oops.
People hate Amanda, apparently.
I guess so. We have a few shows on Patreon, which we'll talk about in a minute. But first, we have to say, what's our next poll? What's the poll for people this week?
Is this Survivor Cast annoying or not annoying?
Would you have a beer with this Survivor Cast? You remember, like, the presidents?
Yes, no, I don't drink.
Yeah, perfect. That's good. Okay, what show on Patreon do you want to mention? Patreon.com/justpodcasts.
How about, it's been a while since we talked about Hope and Change with our friend Barack Obama.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Barack Hussein
Hope and
Obama, just
Change.
like Jem Hussein, whatever the other part of her last name was.
Adams, yes. We say the first part of her last name because it matters. Barack Hussein Obama is on that podcast with us as long as you give us the money for it. He can't say no. We have a few shows there, and you can subscribe at patreon.com/justpodcasts. Do you want to thank the fans?
I would love to thank the listeners. Thank you for listening.
And what about if people wanted to write a review on Apple Podcasts?
This is my favorite podcast. I like it better than all the other podcasts. I give it a big thumbs up.
And how many stars for that one?
5 stars only.
That'd be fantastic. In the meantime, we'll be around next week for the first episode of Survivor 46. God, I can't wait for them to do something. Oh, the secret theme of this season is trust no one. Isn't that stupid?
That is very stupid.
All right, so trust no one except for us. That we'll be back next week with the next episode of Survivor 46. Until then, have a great summer.
Uses. Yeah, what would it be? What would the dads who play soccer one be? It'd be like kicking and screaming. Isn't there a movie where Gerard Butler is I half remember there was some Gerard Butler movie because there was an episode of the Flophouse where they did it where they just kept referring to the movie as Bad Dad Soccer Dad. And I think that's I think Bad Dad Soccer Dad would be in there.
Is Invictus a soccer movie?
Yes, it is, but it's about other things too.
Wow, I love when a sports movie's about other things. Like Friday the Night Lights is also about racism. And it is also called Friday the Night Lights.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Invictus, we've got Bad Dad, Good Soccer. What did you call it?
Bad Dad Soccer Dad.
Bad Dad Soccer Dad. Kicking and
Let me
Screaming.
look this up.
She's the Man? Was there a dad in She's the Man?
That's a good question. I don't remember a dad. I remember a principal played by David Cross, but dad I have no recollection of.
Invictus is about a rugby team, not a soccer team. Is that okay?
Fuck, no, that I don't think we can put it in there.
I think it's perfect, actually. 3 movies about dads who play soccer and 1 about a rugby team. Okay, so no, we got Invictus.
I guess you can put Bend It Like Beckham in there. There's a dad in that, right?
Bend It Like Beckham, classic soccer movie. Yeah, everybody loves that movie.
Playing for Keeps, I believe, is the name of the Gerard Butler movie. The synopsis is a former sports star who's fallen on hard times starts coaching his son's football team as a way to get his life together. His attempts to become an adult are met with challenges from the attractive football moms who pursue him at every turn.
All right, did we come up with 4 soccer movies or what?
Yeah, I think it's Kicking and Screaming, Playing for Keeps, Bend It Like Beckham, and
Invictus.
Was there Invictus? Yeah, you insisted that Invictus stay, so Invictus is in there.
And
you know what? Nelson Mandela is kind of all of our dads, if you think about it.
Yeah,
So.
Nelson Mandela is kind of the world's daddy.
This is the most issuing like a minute-long apology video for calling Nelson Mandela daddy. I'm deeply sorry that I said he was daddy.
Yeah, Nelson Mandaddy. Okay.
Smarten up, Probst.